regularly this administration does shit that's so crazy that I feel like I have to go to other people and say, you see this too, right? We're all seeing this happen in real time, correct? Let me show you the latest example. Remember Kilmer Abrigo Garcia, the man who was sent to an El Salvadorian hellhole because of a clerical error? And then everyone's like, this is really bad. This is a really bad look. Trump administration started doing Cirque du Soleil level contortioning, bending over backwards to try and justify why he was there. What'd they come up with? Hey, have you seen these tattoos on his hands? They prove that he's a member of MS-13. And here's the photo that Donald Trump himself held up and said, here he is, MS-13. And the people who gave him the photo took it into some sort of an editing software where they gave us a handy-dandy guide to interpret it, right? They showed this means an M, so they typed an M, and this means an S, and this means a 1, and this means a 3. And they were like, that's the proof. And the White House and his administration run with that to this day, despite the fact that people like Oscar Martinez came out and said, hey, I covered MS-13 for over a decade. It's history, crime, symbolism, cruelty, pacts with Salvadorian governments. I wrote a book about it. And never, ever did any of the hundreds of sources I spoke to say anything that would allow us to believe Trump's strange interpretation of tattoos. That's bad, but here's something else. Several of us, when Trump did this, noticed that it seemed to be that he believed that the M, the S, the 1, and the 3 that you see on that photo were his tattoos. Not just the symbols on the knuckles, but that those text and numerical elements were also tattoos. Just little things he said. And we're like, does he think that's the tattoo as well? And everyone's like, no, that's not what he's thinking. He did an interview last night, and he thinks those are his tattoos.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute over that.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
Right, we'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture. We'll
and you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look at that.
It's you do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at
Why
that,
don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
If I were to take a transcript of that interview and remove the names and hand it to you and say, this is a transcript of me at a family gathering having a discussion with an elderly family member who has fallen down an AI fever dream-driven misinformation pipeline on Facebook, you would read that and be like, oh yeah, I see it, that tracks. This is a person who maybe has some cognitive issues and can't quite differentiate reality from fiction and is easily caught up by things that they should have the ability to sort of suss out and determine, like, well, that's not real, but they don't. They've come to a place where they are incapable of doing that anymore. That's the person who's in charge of our country.